AFC South time, pallies. We've done the North, we've done the East, now we're moving down to the South. Let's get into it. Let's just cut to the chase right here. The Indianapolis Colts are so unbelievably cooked that it might just get every single person fired on this team that is a higher up. I'm talking Shane Steichen. I'm talking Chris Ballard, even though I think he's the decent GM. And, of course, the one, the only, Anthony Richardson. I don't know how we got here. The first season with Shane Steichen went so gosh darn well. 9-8 with Gardner Minshew. Anthony Richardson did get hurt, but looked so promising in the games he played. To just, like, the next year, Anthony Richardson, like, he still has all the tools in the bag. He's got the great arm. He's strong. He's fast. But he just doesn't learn to read defenses, and his accuracy is still not there. It's almost like nothing changed on him in the second year. It almost seemed like he got worse, even though he only played 4 games in that first year. It didn't make any sense, really. What was he doing all offseason? Playing 2K, playing Mario Sunshine, the GameCube? Like, what was he doing all offseason? They did get a solid tight end in Tyler Warren in the draft, and people were overly rating this guy because they're thinking Brock Bowers 2.0, question mark? And he was the second tight end gone after Colston Loveland. And no, he's not going to be Brock Bowers 2.0. Could it be good? Sure. But this draft class is very weak, and Tyler Warren was, like, I believe the only weapon on his team, so he kind of got a lot of targets because there was no one else getting those targets besides him. So good for you guys. You got a tight end that might be just all right. Now, Anthony Richardson and Danny Dimes are battling for QB1. Anthony Richardson already got hurt because he can't watch a blocker being unblocked right in front of his face. It wasn't even the blind side. It was on the right side, okay? People want to blame the O-line, and sure, you want to blame the O-line, sure. But you also got to blame the quarterback for not using his eyes. His eyes should be scanning the field, scanning the field, like, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking at the field, looking to the right, see if anyone's coming at you. See if anyone's coming at you with a blindside block. Anthony Richardson got bammed, got smacked, injured, but apparently he'll be all right, I think, by the season starts. But it doesn't matter if Daniel Jones beats him out for the starting quarterback role, which he might do. Daniel Jones in the Big 2-5, starting for the Indianapolis Colts. You heard it here first. I used to have optimism for this team last year when they were a promising young team. They got Latu. Anthony Richardson had promise. They got Adonai Mitchell in the second round. Oh, this team. Oh, chef's kiss. Looks so promising. Now they look dead. They look absolutely dead. I will say this, though. Jonathan Taylor is an absolute stud, and I hope this guy gets traded midseason because I hope they suck so much that Jonathan Taylor legit just gets traded like CMC did that one year to the Niners. And I hope he gets like traded like the Commanders or some crazy like that. That'd be awesome. But I want to say this, Anthony Richardson, my guy, he's like the Michael Chandler of the NFL. Now, if you don't watch UFC, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But Michael Chandler is a UFC fighter, and he is very, very athletic. He's actually pretty good. He can fight the best fighters in the world and actually have a competitive fight with them. But he never wins. And that's kind of like Anthony Richardson. He's fast, he's strong, he's athletic, he's got a big arm. All the tools there. Only one issue, he has no IQ. He has the worst IQ I've seen on a quarterback since Jameis Winston. It is so bad that it literally degraded his entire NFL stock from being the most promising QB to this guy is a bust because his IQ of football is that bad. And that's kind of how Michael Chandler is in the UFC. It's kind of correlation right there. The Houston Texans are in a more interesting spot than a lot of teams in the league this year. They won their division, but they lost a key piece of their team, that being Laramie Tunsil. He's their best O-lineman off of an O-line that is not very good. He's no longer part of those big old boys in the Houston Texans. This concerns me for their future O-line, but apparently there was drama being stirred up with Tunsil, and that's kind of why they didn't click on all cylinders, but I don't know. I don't know how team drama goes. It's all wonky in the head when you go down to a football team in a locker room. You don't know what's going on over there. A bunch of stuff going on over there, man. Like some guys might be playing Mario Kart. You beat one in Mario Kart, and they get mad at you, and you think you're better than them. Stuff happens all the time. You don't know. Egos go wild in the NFL, as they say. For their O-line, they're hoping for Tunsil's replacement. So they drafted the young pup, I'm so sorry, Ariante Irsay, and maybe he has some potential in him that could rejuvenate this offensive line. Because those boys were getting bullied bad last year. Stephon Diggs is off of Houston, but they picked up seasoned vet Christian Kirk and young man Jaden Higgins. Now, Jaden Higgins is a big guy here at 6'4", and I think this could be a great fit, I think. I'm not sure. How tall is Nico Collins? Nico Collins like 6'4" as well. Deep ball guy. Jaden Higgins kind of got the same build as him. Will he play in the same part? I don't know. Him and Stephon Diggs are kind of two different receivers. I don't know if they're going to fit him in there, though, but I think Jaden Higgins could be a good receiver. The defense looks tight. Especially the D-line. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, two absolute brutes on each side of the ball. I expect the defense to be a bit better than last year, even though the defense last year was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's really good, but pretty good. And also, I know Joe Mixon is dealing with injuries here, but they picked up Nicholas Chubb in the offseason. And a lot of people are running off Nick Chubb, but don't get it twisted, man. We got to remember one thing. That Browns O-line was bad. It was real bad last year. Nick Chubb kind of rushed his way into returning to the team. He could have honestly taken the entire year off, but he came back late in the year. Probably should have just rested up more. And are we forgetting this guy? Nick Chubb has some of the biggest hammies in the league, dude. Nearly squatting 700 pounds. I do think he is slowing down, but I think he's still got some left in the tank here, guys. I think he's going to steal the job of Joe Mixon. All right, now going to C.J. Stroud. He's in a weird spot this year because I believe this year he's going to be better than last year. But if that O-line sucks, there's not much he can do. And my fear with Stroud is he's going to take a step, but is constantly pressured and sacked that it causes an injury or maybe just messes him up mentally because he's so concerned with getting hit and he's always running for his life. And it could screw up his development as a quarterback. That's my fear. But a thing Stroud could do is he could get a little bit bigger. Let's be real about Stroud here, guys, all right? He's built like a pipsqueak. Now, like, he's kind of got that Squidward build going there. It's a bit of a pipsqueak build, all right? No hate to Stroud. It's just the way he is. But I think you get him like 10, 15 pounds of muscle on that body, I think he's cooking. Cooking with gas, takes hits much better. Great durability for that guy. And D'Amico Ryans, I think, will continue to have the same season as last year. Drawing up crafty plays, slick maneuvers for the offense, and late halftime changes and all the above. Winning games mostly by blitzkrieging on the defense and imposing their will on their opponents. That's the D'Amico way, baby. The Jaguars of Jacksonville coming to the 5th year with some moxie. 5th year quarterback Trevor Lawrence is leading the way. This team could be an interesting one this year. After snagging Brian Thomas last year, who's already proving to everyone he can tango with the best, proving to be a bona fide wide receiver one, then this year they get Travis Hunter. Oh man, but what's he gonna play? That's the question. Everyone wants to know the question of what position is Travis Hunter gonna play. Wide receiver, cornerback, kicker, who the heck knows? We gotta be real right here, right? Travis Hunter's not 50-50 splitting wide receiver and cornerback. Travis Hunter is 6'1", $185. This dude ain't splitting on the defense and offense. He's going to get destroyed and hurt by week 5, even if he excels at both. Let's just be real. I think he's going to be majority receiver, and then I think we'll get in some plays at cornerback, but I think he's mainly going to be a wide receiver here. And as his career goes on, I think he's going to slowly just transition to one position. I don't think this is going to last. I think he'll probably do like 80% wide receiver, 20% quarterback, but I think that's going to last about his rookie contract. And after that, after 3 or 4 years, I think he's going to just be a pure wide receiver in the NFL. But that could be wrong, whatever. The new head coach, Liam Cohen, is a bit of an oddball. It's a bit of a goofy goober, some would say. But I think he could make this work. He gave Baker Mayfield his best season to date, and I think if him and Trevor Lawrence are on a good relationship and are on the same page, they could cook on this offense. They could cook, let's be honest here. The running backs are lackluster, though. Let's be for real here. Guys, I understand Travis Etienne was good 2.5 years ago, but those days are far, far behind us. The new rookie, Bauschel Tutin, could blossom. He sounds like a character I can get behind. The defensive side of the ball is a cause of concern. You got guys like Josh Allen and Trevor Walker who are pretty good, but the secondary looks pretty bad. I know they got Jordan Lewis. He's all right, but ain't going to fix much. Also, again, I'm sorry, Foye Sadi is also a very talented linebacker who has a name that is very hard to pronounce, as you can see. And that kicker they got that just nailed a 70-yarder in a game. I know it's preseason, but damn, that's in a game with defensive players running at you in a crowd. Could be a gem of a player. The NFL's newest Cub, Cameron Ward. Like, I'm going to be real about Cam Ward right now, all right? I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I could be wrong, definitely, but I think his career, if it doesn't get ruined by bad coaching and injuries, I think he'll be on the trajectory of a Kirk Cousins or a Derek Carr. And that sounds bad in theory, but it's really not that bad. Those guys at their peak were playoff quarterbacks, Pro Bowlers, occasionally creaking into the top 10. That's kind of how I see Cam Ward doing. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't see anything really special with this guy. But I'll come back in 2 years when I'm completely wrong and he's already won a Super Bowl and won MVP. They got a mediocre running back core. Let's be real here. Tony Pollard is all right. Tajay Spears is okay. His wide receivers are Calvin Ridley and old man Tyler Lockett. This team looks bad. It looks real bad. They need some fixing on the everything on this team. Brian Callahan, I think, was made worse than he actually was, mainly because Will Levis was too wacky for his own good. And their defense is okay. It's all right. They got Jeffrey Simmons is good. Devondre Sweat is going into his 2nd year. L'Jarius Sneed is washed as all hell. The team sucks, all right? The team sucks. The Titans suck, guys, all right? They suck. All right, let's do this Then last place, I have the Indianapolis Colts. Oh my God, I just said how much the Titans suck. Well, guess what? The Colts are worse. I think the Colts are going 2-15. That is very bold to say because they do have talented players on their team. But I think, no, don't think I'm crazy here. But like, I know they got like Jonathan Taylor and like Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell, Michael Pittman. Even Daniel Jones is a fine backup. But like, listen, I think they're going 2-15 here, guys. You gotta believe me when I say this. Their team's gonna implode. It's gonna implode halfway through the season. Steichen gets fired. Jonathan Taylor gets sent to the Carolina Panthers. Shit's gonna break down. Trust me on this. And second last, I have the Tennessee Titans going 3-14. I don't really know how to explain this much more. The Titans suck. The team overall sucks. Brian Callahan is obviously, at the best, just a mid coach, I think. I don't think he's bad, but I think at his peak, he's a mid coach. Cam Ward might die. Not literally, but in football terms, yes, he might die in football terms. It's just going to suck. In second place, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 9-8. I think they're going to be a bit better than last year, but still are going to just miss the playoffs. Mainly because of a weak secondary on the defense, but I think the offense is going to play pretty good this year, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be solid. Not the player we thought he would be, but solid, you know? In first place, Chiefs and Texans at 10-7. They're going 10-7 3 years in a row. Even though I think the O-line's going to struggle to hell, I think the defense is still the best in the division. They got great receivers. I like Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce, Joe Mixon. I kind of like that tandem going on. And, you know, they got a good team. I don't know what to tell you, man. Mika Ryans has proven to be a pretty solid coach. CJ Stroud, who knows what's going to happen with him, but I still think they're going 10-7. And that is a video for the AFC South. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few days, I'll be doing the AFC West, concluding the AFC entirely. Until then, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.